Hey, what's up, Vox and Hops heads? I'm Matt, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops podcast, brought to you by Sound Talent Media, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians to talk about their lives, music, and craft beer. I hope you guys have been having a great week. I have been having a blast celebrating the fact that Vox and Hops has hit 200 episodes. What an epic episode that was that I dropped last Tuesday with Michael Stane of Dark Tranquility. If you have not checked that one out, it is an epic chat that I strongly suggest you go back and listen to. It's Friday, people. I can't wait for this weekend. I hope that you guys take the time to relax and just try to decompress and try to do something special for yourself and your loved ones. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. And I strongly suggest that you guys try to go do something beautiful, something positive, because that's what I'm going to be doing. On today's Vox and Hops episode, I am with Brad Parris, the bassist and vocalist of Nile. This is Vox and Hops episode number 201.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm with Brad Parris, the bassist and vocalist of Nile. He also has a new project called Xael. How are you doing, Brad? It's been quite a while. We haven't had the chance to hang out because of stupid COVID keeping us apart.
Yeah, no, man. I'm doing okay. You know, just hanging in there and trying to stay busy. You know, not touring sucks. But just staying busy writing music. As often as possible, making money random ways. You know.
Hey, we gotta hustle. We gotta go
Absolutely.
back to those early days before we were out there touring and making some coin finally.
Oh my God, yeah.
With all that being said, how have you been coping with 2020? I know it hasn't been easy for everyone.
No, it hasn't. Yeah, it's very stressful. Like I said, like I think it's good to try to stay busy, try to keep your mind occupied, and not try to think that, you know, the fucking world's ending. Because that's what it feels like.
Well, the media is to blame for that one. It's so negative all the time. And I'm just trying to spout positivity all the time via the podcast or anything that I'm doing. I try to just make everyone feel a little bit of positivity and embrace that. So with that being said, tell me one good thing that has come out of COVID for you.
One good thing. Wow. Yeah, right. That's a funny one. I'm starting to take more lessons musically. So I'm gaining a broader knowledge of my instrument and what I do. So that's a good thing. I mean, on the road, you know, that's next to impossible to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that is a good thing.
Absolutely. And we always have good intentions when we go on a tour, right? Like I pack too many books. And I'm gonna read these books. I used to do that.
Yeah. Right.
When I started touring with Cryptopsy, I think I went on my first European tour. I brought, I think, 3 or 4 books, and I probably opened one of them.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I did the same thing with Nile. My first tour playing with him was South America, and I brought a book and I started reading it on the plane, and that's as far as I got with it.
One of those South American tours, like all those intense Asian tours, where it's the airplanes every night. You got to sleep as soon as you sit down. You have to if you can. It's a difficult task, but you have to sleep when you can.
Oh my God. Yeah, the people who don't know, it's, you know, you wake up around 7 a.m. for lobby call, then you get to the airport. Yeah, if you're lucky, right? Get to the airport. You do 2 flights because all the flights are connecting down there. You show up at around, I don't know, 5 or 6 in the afternoon. Go directly to the venue, do sound check, and then maybe get to go back to the hotel for a couple hours, play the show, go to bed, and do it all over again.
It's amazing. At the same
yeah,
time,
that's one way to put it. Sure.
Oh, we're lucky. It's amazing. It's amazing that we get to do that. The shows are always incredible in those situations, but it's hard on the body and the mind after a while.
Oh my God, man. The most difficult one that we did was, I think it was 2 years ago, and we flew to Europe for 2 weeks and did, a handful of festivals, and then immediately flew to Mexico and did 2 shows in Mexico, and then flew to South America and did 2 weeks in South America.
Holy shit. Brutal.
You know,
brutal.
You come home and your body's not right for an entire month or more, you know.
I don't think I've told this on the podcast yet. When we did the last Asian tour with Cryptopsy, we had a day off in Japan, and I woke up at 5 in the morning on the day off and started frantically packing my bag and yelling at our tour manager that we had to go. We had to go. We're gonna miss it. It's lobby call. But he was like, dude, we have a day off. You can go to bed. It's okay.
Right.
And I was so out of it. Not even like, it had nothing to do with alcohol at all. It was just
Yeah,
it was like
right.
PTSD to a very, very, very small extent.
Right. Yeah, I get that. And plus, you know, in the extreme metal world, there's not really days off at all.
No.
You know, we'll do a 6-week tour and have 2 or 3 days off if we're lucky. I'm sure you guys are the same way too.
It's too expensive to take a day off. We have to keep playing in order to keep everything rolling.
Yeah, right.
Can't just sit on a bus and pay for that bus and everything.
Right. Right.
But let's move to the soundtrack of your youth. When you were growing up in your parents' and guardians' house, what music was playing when you were not in control of the radio? What music did your parents or guardians listen to?
You know, whenever I was really young, it was a lot of country. And then, so then when I was, I think 11, my dad played me Rush, and it just opened something to me. I went, wow, that's it. Like, that's what I like. And then from there, it was, I think the next band I fell in love with would have been Alice in Chains.
Okay.
Yeah, who I still love to this day, of course. Extreme metal didn't come until I was around 15 or 16. I think Pantera was first.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Pantera was Lamb of God. And that's what really made me fall in love with it. Because the first time I heard like death metal, I hated it. You know, I was 13 or something and absolutely hated it. It had to grow on me. But it was all the, I guess you would say, like, usual bands that I fell in love with, like Cannibal Corpse and, you know, all the Death and all those bands. But really, yeah, being young, it was mostly like classic rock, you know.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. All the good stuff. Yeah. All the classics, man. Yeah.
Vox and Hops is all about hanging out with my metal friends and talking about their lives, music, and craft beer. What beer do you have on your side there, Brad, you're going to share with me tonight?
I have, this beer is called the Angry Tomato.
Okay.
Yeah, it's brewed locally where I live at a brewery called New Groove. Really good friends of mine, Josh and Jonathan, run it.
Oh, very cool.
And this beer is also a collaboration beer of a sandwich shop that I live near too. Yeah, Monster Subs, owned by really good friends of mine, the Gambinos. So they brewed this beer, and it is a tomato, jalapeno, and basil pale ale.
Whoa, that's
right.
Interesting.
It is. It's very interesting. And you know, I've had jalapeno beers. I've had some beers brewed with tomato, and it's too much. But this one's like perfect.
Awesome.
It's delicious. It's kind of like drinking spaghetti sauce.
Very interesting. I have to, next time I'm down there, it's a collab, so it'll be hard to find, but I'll have to go and talk to them about it because it sounds too interesting. On my side, I'm going for the darkness since I'm speaking to a member of Nile. This is a 11.9%.
Wow.
Imperial Extra Bourbon Stout, aged in bourbon. It is from a very, very cool brewery that's been doing cool stuff here in Montreal for the past 2 years, I want to say. Beauregard Brasserie Distillerie. They come in these really awesome little Red Bull size cans.
Cool.
So it's not like a 750 stout that you're gonna, open and drink a whole thing and be destroyed afterwards.
Of course.
You can enjoy this by yourself, which is a very cool format, and I love them. And they only make dark beers. They don't do anything clear, no red ales, no pale ales. They did actually do a double dry hopped IPA, but it was black, and it wasn't a black IPA. It was a double dry hopped IPA that was black.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So I'm gonna crack this open. You crack that open, and
Sweet.
tell me about your craft beer journey. Are you a craft beer enthusiast?
Only kind of recently, in the past couple of years. When I was growing up, like most of the people I grew up with, oh, that looks beautiful. Very nice. um, most of the kids I grew up with, like all went to like parties and started drinking around, I don't know, 15 or 16. I wasn't that kid though. I didn't really start drinking until 21, I want to say. And so the craft beer thing came a couple years ago. Like I said, these guys at New Groove, I've known them for a while, and they've had their brewery for 3 years now. So whenever they open, they invited me to come out and try one of their beers, and it kind of opened my eyes to, wow, there's a world beyond, like Miller Lights and Heineken, the typical tour beers. Recently, I really love IPAs, like different types of IPAs, especially this ones brewed with citrus.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love those.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's see if Nile could ever make a craft beer. What style beer would it be, and what would you call it, Brad?
Wow. I feel like there's an obvious answer because we've talked about this before.
So
what would a
you can
Nile beer be?
You can make another black hazy called the Black Haze of Vengeance.
That's perfect. It would definitely be a dark beer for sure. I mean, it has to be.
Exactly.
Dark beer, pretty hoppy. Yeah, right? That's what it would look like.
So
Exactly.
Boozy, delicious, chocolate,
Oh,
hazelnut,
yeah.
a little bit. I love them.
That's beautiful, man.
I love them. I love them. Take me to your first shows, Brad. When you went to see your first concert, do you remember that concert?
Of course. It was Rush. My dad took
Really?
me. Oh,
That's so
yeah,
cool.
man. Oh, my God. I swear to God, when they walked out on stage, I cried. I was 13.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And then after that, I grew up kind of sheltered. So after that, my next memory was in high school, being a senior and basically skipping school to go see Motorhead and Clutch.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, that was
Your parents didn't know?
no.
Ooh.
If they listen to this, they'll find out.
You've never told them? That's hilarious.
Right. So that was the first show I remember going to with friends, and it was amazing. We were front row, and I still have hearing loss in my ears because of that.
loudest band in the world. Were you already playing bass at this point?
Yeah. Or I was playing guitar in the first band I was in, which we were like a prog metal band. We sounded like a heavier Mastodon.
Very cool.
Yeah,
coming from the Russian influences.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit. Yeah. Bass I didn't start really taking serious until Carl said, "Hey, would you like to audition for the band?"
Really?
Right? I mean, I had dabbled in bass before, but never really took it that serious.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It shows to at what point you as a human and as a person is a good person to have around in a band if he's willing to take you if you're not even fluent with the instrument.
Right. Oh man, absolutely.
and you got the vocals to go with it,
Oh God, that took forever. But yeah, oh my God, that was a journey. I didn't start really feeling comfortable with my voice until maybe 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the whole struggle leading up to that?
When I first started the vocal journey, I started with a copy of what's it called? Zen of Screaming.
Yes.
Yeah, the Zen of Screaming, right? Yeah. And it taught me like the breathing techniques and all like the right techniques to do it, but not the like, here's how you project and here's how you actually form your voice, which of course you have to learn by yourself. So when I was first in the band, Dallas was doing most of the vocals, and I would do some backup vocals. So I didn't really set out to be the greatest singer ever. I just wanted to like be able to be good enough to complement what he was doing and Carl was doing. And then whenever it came time for Carl to say, okay, well, you're going to be in the middle and be the front man now. Like, oh, fuck. Okay. The first tour I did as being in the middle was overkill. And like night after night, like I just hated myself. I mean, nobody said anything negative about what I was doing, but it was still like, I don't feel comfortable with what I'm doing. So every night's just nerve wracking. So it took me quite a while to feel comfortable though with what I was doing. But playing in front of a lot of people, and doing shows night after night, that's a hell of a way to get comfortable with it.
Being thrown straight to the wolves.
Exactly.
You better run fast if you want to survive.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I honestly have never heard a negative thing. It's you stepped in and filled an iconic pair of boots, and there was a bit of I'm looking for the right word. I have hubba. That's not the right word. There was a lot of online back and forth bickering when that all went down. So what was it like being in the band?
Nerve-wracking. Yeah, man. Like you said, it's a big position to fill. Yeah, absolutely. So so when it first happened, there was a lot of doubt. A lot of, can I do this? And then we got Brian in the band, and of course, Brian, as soon as he auditioned, as soon as he came in, like he was just top notch already, already a badass. So when everything first went down, it was super stressful.
Just massive pressure right on you.
Oh my God, yeah, and Brian too. Him having to play those guitar parts too, man. Like, yeah.
Because the fans know them and they have to be right.
Exactly. Right. I'm sure it's the same thing with you singing the old Cryptopsy material.
Damn right, man. Damn right. And I am also same thing. I'm just now feeling comfortable with myself. So I know what the defining moment for me feeling comfortable with myself, I've said on the podcast a few times, it was the Maryland Death Fest None So Vile in its entirety set that we did in 2017, I want to say. So what was your defining moment when you finally can accept your voice?
I think it was Hellfest. When we did Hellfest, for whatever reason that night, when we got on stage, like I had already mentally prepared myself to say, okay, don't be too hard on yourself. Like whatever you do, it'll be fine. But as soon as we started and the rest of the show, like, of course, those festivals normally have good tech guys. So the monitors sounded great, so I could hear myself really well. And I went, okay, I don't sound as bad as I think I do.
And from then you just enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, and that's something I look back on now because we can't play, that I should have enjoyed myself more.
Right. Right, yeah.
There is being perfect and being hard on yourself, but there's those moments, and it's something that I have over the past few years, just trying to like take it in and appreciate, so that I'll remember when I'm old, I thought, but now it's for right now,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, totally.
I get this itch scratched when I do these interviews. I'm always worried that I do enough prep work. Is the guy going to connect, or the person going to connect? I get that same vibe that I normally get before a gig. How are you scratching that itch?
Sure. Like before a gig, or
You know, you gotta get that moment that right before you step on stage. It's this like adrenaline rush.
oh
The
yeah,
hair on your arm raising. How are you filling that void
yeah.
since you can't do that right now?
You know, it's hard to. I don't even know how to answer it because I don't think I am.
Hmm.
You know, except for maybe like writing a good riff and going, okay, that sounds good. You know, like you can't match that feeling of right before you walk out on stage. Like, there's nothing like it.
It's you know, I miss it dearly. It's so nice to be home and be with my family and watch my kids grow and not miss anything. But it was
Sure,
sort of it was there's it's we are very lucky to do what we do, and
absolutely, I
I
agree.
can't wait to get back to it. With that being said, some bands are out there right now touring and playing some gigs. I'm not going to name anyone because I don't want to throw anyone anywhere. What is
Sure.
your take on bands that are touring throughout a pandemic?
I think that it's hurting the industry and it's gonna set us back even further from being able to do what we do.
Hmm. So you guys in the Nile
Yeah.
camp, you're in the pure. We're going to wait until it's safe to play.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's already tough enough for us to play, you know, because me, Carl, and Brian, we all kind of live near each other, but then George lives in Greece,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so it's already pretty tough to play gigs as it is. Um, yeah. Yeah. You see, you know, the numbers for COVID are not declining. In fact, it's the exact opposite. So, uh, you know, like you said, I don't want to throw anybody on their bus or say anything bad about it, but um, yeah, I think that it's really stopping us from being able to do what we love to do.
I'm looking forward to getting back there. How about, I guess it's the same situation, you guys being so separated with you know everyone being apart and being in Greece. What about a Nile live stream gig?
We've talked about it a couple of times.
Because he is set up, he's got
I,
his whole like his online lesson plans, George already.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we've talked about it a couple of times. I'm not sure if we'll do it or not. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's not something that we've really talked about in depth. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows?
Have you guys been being creative throughout the pandemic since you guys because you guys just dropped that record,
Oh yeah, right.
vile
Yeah,
Nile lit say it for me.
nihilotic.
Thank you,
Yeah,
vile nihilotic rights
you're right.
last year via nuclear blast.
Yes,
Are you guys just normally a typical touring album cycle would be a few years, but now with the
right.
pandemic, are you guys taking the time to write something now?
We are. Yeah, and everybody in the band has something else that they're doing too. Some side projects. Like I have Xael that I'm doing, which is it's death metal with some symphonic elements.
Very
So
cool.
it's yeah. So it's different. It's cool. Brian has Imperishable, which is mainly him writing everything, but it's more black metal than anything. It's really killer. George has it's called Royal Time Machine, and it's actually a jazz fusion band.
I'm not surprised.
You know, yeah, right? Yeah, yeah. The man that can do it all. It's great. um, and then Carl is also working on his. I want to say it's his third solo album.
Very cool.
Yeah. So you know that's why I was saying you know we try to stay busy during all this, and that's what we're doing, just constantly writing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Take me back to your first, sorry, your favorite tour. If you can go back in time and relive one tour because it was your favorite,
Yeah.
what tour would it be?
Summer Slaughter 2016.
Oh,
It
so
was,
cool. What a
oh
lineup.
man, it was Cannibal Corpse, and we were direct support to them every night. Suffocation, Christian, Revocation, Slaughter to Prevail, After the Burial. I think that was the full lineup, but man, it was. Whew. That was a party tour for sure.
What a crazy line. When I saw it, I was like, why isn't Cryptopsy on this? It would have just been
Right.
perfect.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But
that is something that it's been baffling to me that we haven't toured together in a long time. Cryptopsy and Nile have toured together in the past, but with the new eras of Nile and the new era of Cryptopsy, we haven't toured together. Why do you think that is? Why can't we make this work?
I don't know, because we love you guys. It's not like we're sitting back. It's not like our management goes, hey, do you guys want to tour Cryptopsy? And we go, no, fuck them. No, I don't know. I don't know. It would be nice though. I mean, fuck, every time that we cross paths, it's always a great time.
Damn right. Damn right. We had a lot of fun. Where was it? In Brutal Assault, I believe, is when we first crossed paths.
That's
we
right.
We
yeah,
outside,
yeah.
We had of course we're drinking beer. And it was a great. We love Brutal Assault. What would be some of your
that was our favorite. Yeah. Me and Brian talk about that all the time. Brutal Assault was our favorite, playing in the day and seeing everybody, watching everything. Man, me and him got to like stand side stage and watch Emperor, which just was like a life-changing moment. Amazing. Brutal Assault's great. I really liked Hellfest a lot too. Hellfest was really professional. Yeah, everybody was so cool there. I think the first big one that I did was Vakken, which is a hell of a way to get into the festival world.
You're starting at the top there, Brad.
That was actually Vakken was Brian's very first show in Europe.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next one was like an off day week show in some bar in Hanover or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh man. But as far as festivals, like Brutal Assault and Hellfest have been my favorite by far.
Absolutely. And you're 100% right about Brutal Assault being amazing, because for everyone listening, it's really cool backstage because it is one shared, common backstage area, whereas other festivals, it has a bit more of segregation between the upper level artists and the Cryptopsies and Niles.
Right. Yeah.
So Brutal Assault, everyone's in the same common area, and you can just hang out with the headliners, the guys that are going to finish the night, and it's held in this awesome old fort. It's so cool, and it's always a blast. We've had too many fun times there.
Yeah, I've only got to do it once, but yeah, that was so fun.
If you could just pick a tour package for Nile, just for pure pleasure, who would be on that package?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Cannibal Corpse for sure. It's nostalgic, and who doesn't like Cannibal Corpse? You guys, obviously. And Suffocation. I've got to tour with them twice. Right. Yeah, twice. And both times were just great. I'm sure you've toured with them before too, right?
We did South America with them, but that's another band that's been many times that we've spoken about setting up a Suffo Cryptopsy tour, and sadly it's never come to fruition.
Sure,
but I'm all about it. They're the best humans. You can't go wrong with Terrence Hobbs.
Oh, yeah, right. Absolutely. You can't not just love the guy.
And Eric Marotti, local Canadian boy.
Yeah.
Just a machine, killing it on the drums.
Yeah, absolutely.
It probably doesn't happen to you very often because you're very in control, but it always happens every so often to someone. What is your hangover cure, Brad?
Oh, man. Gatorade. A lot of Gatorade. The occasional energy drink. But if I have a really bad hangover, like what I do is I just lay in bed all day sipping water, waiting to die.
You used to bartend, am I right?
That is correct. Yeah, I did.
Tell me about your time as a bartender and how you helped people prevent their hangovers.
Oh my God. I wouldn't say I helped prevent them at all.
Because what's that venue? You were actually bartending one night when Cryptopsy came through with Malty, actually.
Yeah, right. It was Ground Zero in Spartanburg.
And I could have used some Gatorade the following day.
Yeah, that's if I had friends that came through that venue, like, you know, the owner would always let me hook people up. So that night was crazy. The night Origin played, that was nuts. You know, yeah, a lot of fun memories working at that place.
Super fun. I always have fun coming through there, and it was a really special night that night because we just had so much fun, such a good time. Brad, thank you so much for taking some time, sitting down with me, talking about your life, talking about metal, and drinking some craft beer. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait till we can actually hang out face to face again.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening right to the end. You know that I love and appreciate that. What a great chat with Brad. We have so much fun when we hang out together out on the road. We always end up having a few craft beers together and a whole bunch of laughs, and this was no exception. I am a huge fan of what Brad's been doing. I love his vocals in Nile. He is just killing it, and I'm super stoked to hang out with Brad again. If you enjoyed this Vox and Hops episode, you should go and subscribe to it via the podcast platform of your choice, because I have over 200 episodes just like this one that you can go back and listen to and enjoy. Vox and Hops is brought to you by Sound Talent Media. I will be back next week with 2 episodes, but until then, remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox and Hops heads.